2022 is going to be a great year. We have so many games coming out. We're going to have so much choice.
Jesus Christ!
2022 has been a great year for gaming, I would say. So far we've had games like Elden Ring, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray. That's a good game. But there has been a hell of a lot of delays as well, which is quite annoying, but what are you going to do? We're not going to have another Cyberpunk. I've played quite a few games this year, but I thought let's run through my top 5 PS5 games that I have played this year. So far. Just to let you know, some of these games have come out before 2022, just in case you keyboard warriors will point that out and be like, this game didn't even come out this year. I know. Number 5. Horizon Forbidden West was one of the most anticipated games of the year, and I feel like it did not disappoint. Upon starting up the game, instantly the graphics and the world looks absolutely beautiful. The colours along with the 60 FPS frame rate are breathtaking. There are such a variety of machines, and as they get bigger and bigger, I can't just help think,
How the fuck am I gonna beat these machines?
Aloy and all the character models are so realistic, especially with their dialogue. Only thing that sometimes looks a tad weird is their eye contact. It's a bit off between close conversation. How you doing? The map is so big, and with that the different areas are beautiful. Whether you are traveling through the dusty desert and sandy environments, or you're traveling through the night skies in Las Vegas, each place you go feels different. The controls and the gameplay feel a lot smoother than Zero Dawn. That was one of the most frustrating things for me when I was playing that game. I would point my arrow and all of a sudden it would go all the way to the left, and I'm like, what is wrong with this? Fight!
Jesus! Oh my god!
But with Forbidden West, it just feels a lot smoother with the many different weapons you unlock and use in the game. Alongside that, when you scan an area, you will see what environments are climbable and what isn't, as that was, again, one of the most frustrating things about the first game.
Is this climbable? Why isn't this fucking aiming working? Zero
Calm
Dawn.
down!
Shut up.
So rude.
The haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers feel satisfying when you're using your pullcaster to break down a wall, or you're aiming your bow and pulling it back to get that last shot. Everything feels so good with the PS5's DualSense. With the smooth gameplay and the amazing storyline, the music is unforgettable. The music in this game is just beautiful and matches every situation you're in. If you're close in battle with some of the machines, the epic music will just get you hyped. Or even when you're preparing for one of the biggest missions near the end and there's a cutscene and all you can hear is the music alongside it, and I'm just getting hyped and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I am Aloy. It's great music. Overall, I had a hell of a lot of fun with Forbidden West, and with the new game plus, it gives me a reason to get back to it eventually. It can be repetitive in terms of question marks and exploring everything on the map, because I do like to do that in games, but when it becomes too repetitive, I just got a bit fatigued and I was like, nah, I'm bored now, I'm not going to bother doing that. So I've left it there. You have different weapons in the new game plus which you can unlock, so there's always a reason to go back to it. Number 4. I am quite late playing Star Wars Jedi Fallen on the PS5. It is so much better with the 60 FPS update. And you know what? It is so cheap now to buy. There's no reason why you shouldn't spend the money on this. Yeah, should I buy this game? Yeah, why not? It's cheap. Stop spending our money. It's our money. Fuck's sake, we're so broke. Star Wars Jedi Fallen has a deep story as you play as Cal, who is a Jedi and realizes he must travel to many different worlds in order to rebuild the Order and stand up to the Galactic Empire who are after him. Now, no wonder this made it in my top 15 PS5 games with insane graphics, because the graphics, hi! Even just starting with Cal, his movements, his hair, the way he moves is so realistic, and with every world you travel to, it feels so different and it looks beautiful. Each world you travel to is so different with its own type of enemies and many collectibles to collect. You can customize your lightsaber down to the very T with a different handle, specific parts, and of course the light itself, making it personal to you. The characters you meet are very interesting with their own past, such as Seri, I probably said that wrong, Trilla, Grease, Prouf, and a few more to mention. Now, when I first started playing the game and getting into the combat, I'm gonna just be button mashing this game. Yeah, you don't want to do that. You have to learn when to dodge, light attack, roll, heavy attack. This game, you have to think about what to do to beat your opponent. And it does remind me of Demon Souls. You have to properly plan your attack, learn how the enemy works and what they do, and then you have to kind of react off that. It can be very frustrating if you think you're just going to get through it by doing that. And with the adaptive triggers and the PS5 controller, when you're fighting, when you're in battle, you can feel every hit. When you're running, when you're moving, the haptic feedback just feels so good in your hand, and it feels like you can feel the environment. Man, I sound like the bloody guy from Naughty Dog now.
The humidity, you can actually feel it.
Shut the fuck up!
Alongside the PS5 controller, wearing my headset takes it to another level of innovation with the 3D audio. The sounds of this game are so satisfying when you're running, jumping, or the sound of when you are walking through a cave. When you're just walking over water, it just feels so therapeutic.
Man, you're so weird.
Everyone's weird.
Yeah, true.
He's the same guy. Same guy. Overall, this game is a must play on the PS5, and with the sequel coming next year, this just gets me hyped. Stay calm. Stay calm. Number 3. Now I'm calling it now. Elden Ring will probably get Game of the Year. This was a refreshing take on open world games because this gave you the ultimate freedom. It does take a hell of a lot of time and research to get used to this game because you are just thrown into it. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was like, okay, I'm just given the responsibility to do anything I want. I need to explore and just react and learn off my deaths. If you're stuck in an area, you just go to another area. That is the beautiful thing. I wasn't going to let myself get too frustrated. I was like, well, let's go over here. Explore equals results. Graphically, comparing it to something like Demon Souls, it's not as great as Demon Souls because that game was just incredible from a graphical point of view. But I love the art style of Elden Ring. It's dark, it's depressing. There are so many different environments and sceneries. It's not all about graphics, it's about gameplay. You will explore and come up with so many different enemies, and when you get to those big bosses, oh my god, you might feel like you just have to persist with it, learn, research, and maybe take a break from the game as well. Yeah. When it comes to the controls, you block, you light attack, heavy attack, roll, parry, which I rarely used. But once you get the core controls, you just apply it to every boss you find. Every boss will have a certain sequence which you may have to roll, dodge, and you have to learn their patterns. I was pretty basic with mine. All I wanted to do was roll, block, heavy attack, light attack. I rarely use some of my special abilities, which I should have really. I probably would have found it a lot easier. That is the beautiful thing about the game. There are so many different ways to play the game. Whether you want to be a knight and just go with a sword, you can have 2 weapons, you can have 1, you can have a shield. That makes it just... I don't know the word I'm finding here. Anyone? I've put over 60 hours of the game, and you know what? I'm not going to lie to you guys, I still haven't actually completed. Alright! This isn't a high school drama! Some of these boss fights will take over 10 minutes to beat, but alongside that, the music is absolutely insane when you're fighting these bosses. When I die and die and die, but then I get back into that boss fight, I get a false sense of confidence again with that epic music. Until I get tarnished. Alright! Take a fucking chill pill. Joke. Who did that? This game isn't for everyone. It will take dedication, research, persistence. And once you do that, you may have a good time with this game. But if you're a casual gamer, yeah, you ain't gonna like this shit. Just move over to the next. Number 2. I've mentioned Death Stranding before, and I am thoroughly enjoying this game by Kojima Productions. It is so weird and unusual, and that's probably why I like the game so much. It's not like other games. You're in a post-apocalyptic America where something called the Death Stranding has happened. Alongside that, you get these beached monsters who are invisible, who will kill you, but your job is to rebuild America by delivering cargo to different parts of America and reconnecting everyone through AOL. Okay, it's the chiral network, but it's not AOL. It starts off very slow. That's probably why so many people got put off by the game. I am about on chapter 6, chapter 7, and you unlock weapons, you unlock different vehicles, you've got guns, and the story has got a lot more interesting. The only thing about some of the trucks is that they feel like they're made out of a can of tuna. Graphically, I think this is one of the most beautiful games on the PS5. It looks incredible. The scenery, the characters, the environments is so weirdly rich, and at the same time is not really rich because there's hardly any people throughout the whole game. It is simply stunning, from chilling in your private room, getting a shower, and especially during the 5 to 8 minute cutscenes. I think because this is translated from Japanese, some of the cutscenes, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I tried to find him afterwards. I did. My mother never liked him. He died. I believed her. It's him. It's really him. I knew he was out there somewhere.
Once you get used to the controls, it's weirdly satisfying to travel through America trying to not fall over by using the triggers to rebalance yourself. The heavier the cargo you have, the less balance you have, but you can upgrade accessories to help with this. What I like about it isn't like Assassin's Creed where you can just fucking climb on anything and you can fucking jump off a ledge from 1,000 feet and you're fine. It takes much more planning and care. You start to get non-lethal rounds and grenades to help kill these beach things. You can complete some drills to help getting used to some of the weapons. And out of nothing, you may have to face a mad, giant lion beach thing.
Ah, nice calm there. That's right. Where the fuck did this come from? Jesus!
The fuck?
Now, the soundtrack to this game is probably one of the most calming, addictive soundtracks there is. I started playing them in my car. You can unlock soundtracks and play them in your private room, and it makes it a lot less boring. Some of the conversations and voice acting aren't very great. I think that's due to the translation. Overall, I love the direction of the game and what it is trying to be. The story could be told a lot simpler and the pacing could be probably speeded up at times. Although it's very slow to start with, I like that because it really gives you an indication of what the world is like and what Sam, your character, has been going through. Number 1. Now, who would have thought my number 1 game that I've played this year would be a Ubisoft game? Alright, hear me out. Hear me out. My top 5 games of 2022 will change by the end of the year with games like God of War Ragnarok. This is just what I've played so far. Now, I bought this game ages ago for my Switch. As soon as I bought my PS5, I was like, screw it, crossplay. I played this after I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Odyssey, which in my eyes is a massive mistake because this feels like just a knockoff Assassin's Creed game. Fast forward months, I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this game another try, and I couldn't put it down. I love Greek mythology, Norse mythology, and I just loved the game for what it was. The way the story is told from Zeus and the other guy that I've forgotten, the way they're telling the story is very clever. You play as Fenyx, a mortal who earns godlike powers in order to beat Typhon, who wants to kill all the gods. Now, playing on the PS5, incredible. The colors, the scenery, the sound of the waterfalls, it is a beautiful game. I actually love this art style of the game better than Assassin's Creed. Valhalla was too bleak. The different areas of the map are unique and it is huge. There are essentially 7 different areas of the map. Clashing Rocks, Valley of Eternal Spring, Grave of Kleos, War's Den, the Forge Lands, King's Peak, Gates of Tartarus. But it is all beautiful. Now, the gameplay is very similar to Assassin's Creed. You have your light attack, your heavy attack, your dodge, you roll, you block, you have your horse. Identical. It's fluid, it's quick. The puzzles in this game are so much fun, and some of them can be so freaking difficult, but I love that. There's variety, and you have to really think about what you need to do, especially when you enter some of these vaults in order to acquire Zeus's power so that you can upgrade your abilities. The soundtrack is what you expect from Greek mythology. When you're fighting epic enemies, you get amazing background music, and as soon as you defeat some enemies, I love how the music ends. I will do another video near the end of the year once God of War is out, because that's definitely going to be on there. What do you think of my top 5 games that I've played so far? What are yours? I want to hear about them, so make sure you comment them below. We are nearly at 2,000 subscribers, and honestly, what an amazing achievement so far. So I just want to say a big thank you to all you guys commenting and liking and watching my content. Let's take a look at the comment of the day from my previous video. Watch this before purchasing The Last of Us Part 1 remake. Shout out to Mike Jones, definitely deceptive in their word choice, just as The Last of Us 2 trailers. I was hoping for additional chapters, prequel chapters for Joel and Tommy, maybe expanding the levels to complement part 2 mechanics. Nope, that's not what we got. All we get is graphical update and some quality life changes. I totally agree with you. There's no way I'm going to be purchasing this a third time just for graphical update. It is an absolute joke.
The fuck is going on down there?